The vast emptiness of space was suddenly filled with an urgent message. It flashed across millions of screens on countless alien worlds. The Galactic Empire, known for its power and wisdom, had spoken. Their words were clear and shocking. Keep your distance from Earth. Zarthal, a young Centaurian, stared at the glowing screen in disbelief. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly, trying to make sense of the warning. Around him, the busy spaceport of Proxima Centauri fell silent. Everyone, from the tall, slender Andromedans to the blob-like Betelgeusians, stopped to read the message. The proclamation continued. By order of the Grand Council, all spacefaring civilizations are hereby warned. The planet known as Earth, located in the Sol system of the Milky Way galaxy, is strictly off-limits. Any attempt to approach, contact, or interfere with this world will be met with severe consequences. Whispers began to spread through the crowd. Why Earth? What made this small blue planet so dangerous that the mighty Galactic Empire feared it? Far away, in the gleaming towers of the Imperial Palace on Coruscant Prime, Emperor Xendar paced nervously. His scaled skin shimmered under the light of 3 moons. He turned to his chief advisor, Vela, her tentacles twitching with anxiety. "Is it done?" Xendar asked, his voice a low rumble. Vela nodded, her eye stalks bobbing. "Yes, Your Majesty. The warning has been sent to every corner of the galaxy." Xendar sighed, a sound like rustling leaves. "And now we wait. We can only hope they heed our warning." Back at the spaceport, chaos erupted. Alien traders frantically canceled shipments bound for the Sol system. Tourist agencies scrapped their exotic Earth excursions brochures. The price of Earthling artifacts skyrocketed in the black market. Zarthal watched as a group of Rigelian merchants argued loudly. Their antennae quivered with excitement as they debated the reason behind the Empire's proclamation. "It must be a weapon," one shouted. "The humans have created something that threatens us all." Another shook his head vigorously. No, it's a plague. They've unleashed a virus that could wipe out the galaxy." A third Rigelian, older and wiser, spoke softly. Perhaps it is the humans themselves who are dangerous." This statement caused a hush to fall over the group. The idea that a single species could be so threatening was almost unthinkable. As the news spread, reactions varied across the galaxy. On the water world of Aquarius IV, the jellyfish-like inhabitants retreated to the depths of their oceans, fearing that human aggression might someday reach their peaceful shores. In the silicon caves of Epsilon Eridani, the rock people held emergency council meetings. They debated whether to build stronger planetary shields, just in case the humans decided to expand beyond their home world. Even the warlike Klingons of Konos felt a twinge of unease. Their High Council gathered, wondering if they had finally met a race that could match their ferocity in battle. Amidst all this galactic panic, Earth continued its serene dance around the sun. Its inhabitants went about their daily lives, blissfully unaware of the stir they had caused. In a small town in Kansas, a farmer named John looked up at the night sky and wondered if there was life out there. In a bustling city in China, a young girl named Li dreamed of becoming an astronaut and exploring the stars. Little did they know that, at that very moment, their planet was the subject of intense discussion and fear throughout the cosmos. As the Earth rotated peacefully, the rest of the galaxy held its breath. What would happen next? Would someone be foolish enough to ignore the Empire's warning? And what exactly made humanity so dangerous? The Galactic Empire had drawn a line in the cosmic sand. Now the question on every alien mind was, how long would that line hold? As the galaxy buzzed with fear and curiosity about Earth, life on the blue planet continued as usual. The humans, oblivious to their newfound galactic fame, went about their daily routines. In New York City, Sarah Johnson hurried through the crowded streets. She was late for her job at a big newspaper. Little did she know that millions of light years away, alien journalists were writing about her planet. Another day, another dollar. Sarah muttered, squeezing into the packed subway. She had no idea that her mundane commute would fascinate beings from other worlds. Meanwhile, in a small village in India, Raj Kumar tended to his crops. He wiped sweat from his brow and looked up at the sky, hoping for rain. Unbeknownst to Raj, advanced alien civilizations were studying Earth's weather patterns, marveling at how humans had adapted to such varied climates. Across the globe, in Rio de Janeiro, Carlos danced at the famous carnival. The streets were alive with color, music, and laughter. Alien anthropologists would have been amazed by this display of human culture and joy, so different from their own reserved societies. But not everything on Earth was peaceful. In a secret underground facility, Dr. Emily Chen furrowed her brow as she stared at her computer screen. Strange signals had been detected by her team's advanced radio telescopes. "This doesn't make sense," she muttered to herself. The signals seemed to be coming from just outside the solar system, but they disappeared as quickly as they appeared. Little did Dr. Chen know, these signals were from curious alien scouts, trying to observe Earth without being detected. They were being extra cautious, mindful of the Galactic Empire's stern warning. In Washington, D.C., General Mike Thompson sat in a top-secret meeting at the Pentagon. "Gentlemen," he said, his voice grave, "our satellites have picked up unusual activity near Mars. We need to figure out what's going on." The room filled with murmurs. Was it a new type of solar flare, a malfunction in their equipment, or something else entirely? They had no idea they were detecting the edges of a galactic quarantine zone. Back in space, a small ship from the planet Zygon approached the outer edges of the solar system. Captain Syleth, a being with iridescent scales and large, curious eyes, peered at the blue planet through advanced telescopes. "Fascinating," Syleth whispered. "They seem so primitive, yet the Empire fears them. What secrets do you hold, Earth?" Suddenly, alarms blared on Syleth's ship. Imperial patrol vessels appeared out of nowhere, their weapons locked on the small Zygonian craft. "Zygonian vessel," a stern voice crackled over the comm. "You are in violation of Imperial decree. Leave this system immediately or face destruction." Syleth's scales paled with fear. They quickly turned their ship around and fled, their curiosity unsatisfied but their lives intact. On Earth, a group of friends gathered around a campfire in the Australian outback. They told stories and pointed out constellations in the clear night sky. "Do you think there's life out there?" asked Tom, his eyes reflecting the starlight. His friend Emma laughed. "If there is, I bet they're not as interesting as us humans." The group chuckled, unaware of how true Emma's words were. They had no idea that at that very moment, they were the most interesting and feared beings in the entire galaxy. As dawn broke over Earth, humans everywhere started a new day. They went to work, fell in love, argued, made up, and dreamed of the future. All the while, the rest of the galaxy watched and wondered about these remarkable, oblivious creatures. The Earth continued to spin, a blue marble in the vastness of space, holding secrets that the rest of the universe was dying to uncover. The stage was set for a cosmic drama, with humanity in the starring role, even if they didn't know it yet. Despite the Galactic Empire's stern warning, some alien species couldn't resist the allure of Earth. Their curiosity overwhelmed their fear. Secretly, they began to observe the mysterious planet that had caused such a stir across the galaxy. On the distant planet Zircon, a team of alien scientists huddled around a large pulsating orb. This was their most advanced long-range observation device. Leading the team was Dr. Quix, a tall, spindly being with eyes that changed color based on his mood. "Careful now," Dr. Quix warned, his eyes a mix of excited green and nervous yellow. "We must not be detected." The orb hummed to life, projecting a crisp image of Earth. The aliens gasped in awe. They saw sprawling cities, vast oceans, and lush forests. But what really caught their attention were the humans themselves. "Look at how they move," exclaimed Zora, Quix's assistant. "So inefficient, Yet so, graceful. They watched as humans went about their daily lives. They saw cars zooming on highways, planes soaring through the sky, and ships sailing across oceans. The aliens were both impressed and puzzled. Such primitive technology, muttered Quicks. Yet they accomplished so much. How? Meanwhile, in a cloaked ship orbiting Mars, another group of aliens was conducting their own research. These were the Valerians, known for their incredibly advanced AI systems. Captain Zix of the Valerians stared at the data streaming across her screens. Her tentacles twitched with excitement. "Impossible," she exclaimed. "Their AI systems are centuries behind ours, yet they're achieving results we can only dream of." Her second-in-command, Blix, looked confused. "How can this be, Captain?" Zix's eyes narrowed. "It's not the machines. It's the humans themselves. Their minds are extraordinary." Back on Earth, in a small tech startup in Silicon Valley, a young programmer named Alex hit a breakthrough. He solved a complex AI problem that had stumped experts for years. He celebrated with a fist pump and a sip of cold coffee, unaware that his solution would have made the most advanced alien civilizations green with envy. In the far reaches of the solar system, a stealthy probe from the warlike Crozar Empire approached. General Kraz, a hulking figure with battle scars crisscrossing his thick hide, watched the live feed from Earth with growing concern. "Show me their weapons," he growled. His subordinates scrambled to comply. They showed him footage of Earth's military exercises, nuclear tests, and advanced fighter jets. But what truly terrified the battle-hardened general was something unexpected. He watched as protesters peacefully stood against armed forces, as aid workers rushed into disaster zones, as ordinary people performed extraordinary acts of bravery and kindness. "By the cosmic void," Kraz whispered, his voice filled with awe and fear, "their greatest weapon is their spirit." As these alien observers watched and learned, they began to understand why the Galactic Empire had issued its dire warning. Humans were unpredictable, resilient, and incredibly adaptable. They solved problems in ways that defied alien logic. They formed bonds and collaborated in ways that seemed impossible to more advanced but rigid civilizations. Dr. Quicks, Captain Zix, and General Kraz all came to the same conclusion. Humanity was a force to be reckoned with, not because of their technology or their weapons, but because of their potential. Their capacity for growth, innovation, and unity was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. As the Earth continued its journey around the Sun, its inhabitants remained blissfully unaware of the alien eyes upon them. They continued to live, love, fight, and dream, unknowingly demonstrating why they were both the most fascinating and the most feared species in the galaxy. The alien observers retreated, their minds filled with wonder and trepidation. They now understood the Empire's warning. Earth was not to be approached lightly, for in humanity, the galaxy had encountered its most unpredictable variable yet. As alien civilizations continued their secret observations of Earth, they began to uncover the truly unique aspects of humanity. It wasn't just one thing that made humans special. It was a combination of traits that, together, made them a force to be reckoned with. In the grand halls of the Galactic Library on planet Bibliotheca, the chief archivist, Lex, pored over reports from various alien species. His crystalline body sparkled under the soft light as he processed the information. "Fascinating," Lex murmured. "Humans possess an unusual mix of traits. They're not the strongest, fastest, or most technologically advanced. Yet, they're thriving." Lex's assistant, Zora, floated nearby. "What makes them so special, then?" she asked, her voice a melodic hum. Lex's crystal structure pulsed with excitement. "It's their adaptability, their creativity, and most intriguingly, their contradictions." Meanwhile, on Earth, these traits were on full display, though humans remained oblivious to their galactic audience. In a bustling laboratory in Tokyo, Dr. Yuki Tanaka made a breakthrough in renewable energy. Her team had created a new type of solar panel, twice as efficient as anything before. Yuki jumped with joy, hugging her colleagues. Unknowingly, she had just solved an energy problem that had puzzled alien civilizations for centuries. Across the world, in the Amazon rainforest, an indigenous tribe fought to protect their land from deforestation. They used a combination of ancient wisdom and modern technology, showcasing humanity's unique ability to blend the old with the new. Alien anthropologists watching this were astounded by the humans' connection to their planet and their determination to protect it. In a classroom in Nairobi, a young teacher named Amani used recycled materials to create educational toys for her students. Her creativity in the face of limited resources amazed the alien observers. They saw how humans could make something out of nothing, a skill many advanced civilizations had lost. But it wasn't all positive. In the streets of a war-torn city, soldiers fought fiercely while aid workers risked their lives to help civilians. This display of simultaneous destruction and compassion confused the alien watchers. How could one species be capable of such extreme opposites? Back in the Galactic Library, Lex compiled his findings. Humans are walking contradictions, he explained to Zora. They wage war, yet strive for peace. They pollute their planet, yet fight to save it. They can be selfish individuals, yet form incredibly strong communities. Zora's form rippled with confusion. Isn't that inefficient? Wouldn't it be better to be consistent? Lex's crystal structure glowed brightly. That's just it. Their inconsistency, their internal conflicts. These drive them to constantly change and improve. It's not efficient, but it's incredibly effective. On a distant military outpost, General Cragg of the Zorblax Empire watched footage of human sports competitions. He saw athletes pushing their bodies to the limit, teams working together to achieve victory, and crowds cheering with fierce loyalty. They turned everything into a challenge, Cragg growled, both impressed and worried. Even their leisure activities are like warfare. His aide, Lieutenant Blurg, nodded nervously. If they ever unite and turn that competitive spirit towards galactic conquest. Cragg cut him off with a wave of his clawed hand. Let's hope they remain focused on competing with each other. As night fell across Earth, billions of humans went to sleep, their dreams filled with hopes, fears, and wild imaginings. Unbeknownst to them, these dreams, this human ability to imagine and then strive to make those imaginings real, were perhaps their most powerful trait of all. In his crystal chamber, Lex made a final entry in the galactic records. Humanity's greatest strength is not a single trait, but their unique combination of adaptability, creativity, contradiction, and determination. They are unpredictable, which makes them both fascinating and potentially dangerous. The Galactic Empire's warning to avoid Earth is not just wise. It may be essential for the stability of the galaxy. As the Earth continued its cosmic dance, the rest of the galaxy watched with a mixture of fear, admiration, and wonder. Humanity, in all its complex glory, had become the greatest mystery in the universe. Despite the Galactic Empire's strict warnings, one alien civilization decided to take the ultimate risk. The Zephyrians, known for their insatiable curiosity and advanced stealth technology, chose to attempt first contact with Earth. On the Zephyrian mothership, Captain Silo paced nervously. His translucent skin glowed with a mix of excitement and fear. "Are we really doing this?" he asked his crew. His second-in-command, Bella, nodded. Her antenna twitched with anticipation. "We've come too far to turn back now, Captain." As their ship entered Earth's atmosphere, they activated their cloaking device. They hovered over a small town in the middle of the United States, a place called Millbrook, Nebraska. Meanwhile, in Millbrook, life went on as usual. Farmer John was checking his corn crops when he noticed something odd in the sky. It looked like heat waves, but concentrated in one spot. "That's strange," John muttered, squinting at the sky. In the Zephyrian ship, alarms started blaring. "Captain," Vela shouted, "our cloaking device is malfunctioning." Before Tylo could respond, their ship became visible to human eyes. John's jaw dropped as he saw the massive, shimmering spacecraft appear out of thin air. Panic spread through Millbrook like wildfire. People ran out of their homes, pointing at the sky. Some grabbed their phones to record the unbelievable sight, while others huddled in fear. On the ship, chaos erupted. "We've been spotted," Silo yelled. "Initiate emergency protocols." But it was too late. As they tried to retreat, their ship's systems started failing. They were going down. The Zephyrian ship crash-landed in John's cornfield, leaving a massive crater. As smoke billowed from the wreckage, doors opened, and the aliens emerged. John, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, cautiously approached. Xylo, injured but alive, locked eyes with the human. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, breaking the silence, John spoke. Are you okay?" Xylo, understanding the human's language thanks to advanced translation technology, was taken aback by the unexpected concern. We come in peace," he managed to say. As word of the crash spread, it didn't take long for government forces to arrive. Military vehicles swarmed the area, and men in dark suits quickly cordoned off the crash site. Among them was Special Agent Sarah Thompson. As she surveyed the scene, her training kicked in. "Secure the area," she ordered, "and get me a direct line to the president." The Zephyrians, weakened from the crash and overwhelmed by the human response, surrendered without resistance. As they were led away, Tylo couldn't help but marvel at the efficiency and coordination of the humans. In Washington, D.C., an emergency meeting was called. World leaders gathered virtually to discuss this unprecedented event. The President of the United States addressed the group. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are not alone. The question now is, what do we do about it?" Debates rage. Some argued for full disclosure to the public, while others insisted on keeping it secret. Scientists pleaded for access to the alien technology, while military leaders warned of potential threats. As humans grappled with this new reality, something even more ominous was unfolding in space. The Galactic Empire had detected the Zephyrians' unauthorized mission. A massive Imperial fleet was now on its way to Earth, intent on enforcing their warning. Back in Millbrook, as the sun set on this world-changing day, John sat on his porch, staring at the stars. His cornfield was ruined, but he couldn't bring himself to care. "Everything's different now," he said to himself. Little did John, or any human, know that this was just the beginning. The crash landing of the Zephyrian ship wasn't just first contact. It was the spark that would ignite a galactic crisis, with Earth at its center. As night fell, humanity slept fitfully, their dreams filled with images of alien worlds. Meanwhile, in the vast expanse of space, an Imperial armada was closing in, ready to make sure their warning about Earth was heeded, no matter the cost. The news of the Zephyrian crash in Millbrook spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Galactic Empire, furious at the breach of their warning, mobilized their vast fleet. Led by Admiral Zox, a being of pure energy contained in a humanoid suit, the Armada approached Earth with grim determination. On the Imperial flagship, Admiral Zox's form crackled with anger. "Prepare the planet-wide communication system," he ordered. "It's time to show these humans who they're dealing with." Back on Earth, governments worldwide were in chaos. The alien ship in Nebraska had been secured, but leaders struggled to decide how to proceed. In a secure bunker beneath Washington, D.C., President Elena Rodriguez faced the toughest decision of her life. "Madam President," her chief of staff urged, "we need to address the nation. The videos from Millbrook are all over the internet. We can't keep this secret anymore." President Rodriguez nodded gravely. "Prepare a statement. It's time to tell the world the truth." But before she could speak to her nation, every screen on Earth, from Times Square billboards to smartphones in rural villages, suddenly flickered to life. Admiral Zox's imposing figure appeared, his energy form pulsating ominously. "People of Earth, His voice boomed in every language simultaneously. Your planet has violated the Imperial decree. Prepare to face the consequences. Panic erupted globally. In New York, crowds in the streets stood frozen, staring at the giant screens in disbelief. In Tokyo, workers poured out of office buildings, their faces masks of fear. In a small village in Kenya, elders gathered around a battered TV, trying to make sense of this new reality. At the crash site in Millbrook, Special Agent Sarah Thompson watched the broadcast with growing dread. She turned to Silo, the Zephyrian captain they had taken into custody. "Is this because of you?" she demanded. Silo's translucent skin paled further. We didn't know it would come to this," he stammered. "You have to believe me. We meant no harm." As the world reeled from this revelation, something unexpected happened. Humanity, faced with an external threat, began to unite in ways never seen before. Age-old rivalries were set aside. Resources were pooled. Scientists from enemy nations collaborated, racing to understand the alien technology from the crashed ship. In a hidden facility, Dr. Yuki Tanaka worked feverishly alongside her international colleagues. "If we can reverse engineer their communication systems," she explained, "we might be able to reach out to other alien species. We need allies." Meanwhile, in orbit, the Imperial fleet took position around Earth. Admiral Zox prepared to launch an attack that would make an example of this troublesome planet. But as he gave the order, his second-in-command, Commander Vex, hesitated. "Admiral," Vex said cautiously, "our scans are picking up unusual activity on the planet's surface. The humans, they're working together, all of them." Zox's energy form flickered with surprise. "Impossible. Our data suggested they were a divided species, constantly at war with each other." On Earth, millions watched as President Rodriguez addressed the United Nations. Her voice was steady, her resolve unshakable. "Today, we are not Americans, Russians, Chinese, or Europeans. We are Earthlings, and we will stand together against this threat." The chamber erupted in applause. For the first time in history, every nation on Earth agreed on a single course of action. As the humans united, something remarkable happened. Their collective consciousness, fueled by a shared purpose, began to resonate at a frequency that rippled across space. In the farthest reaches of the galaxy, ancient, slumbering races stirred, awakened by this new cosmic melody. Admiral Zox watched in astonishment as his fleet's systems began to malfunction. Earth's unified field was interfering with their technology in ways they couldn't understand. "It's not possible," he whispered, his energy form fluctuating wildly. "What are these humans?" As Earth prepared for what could be its final stand, the stage was set for a confrontation that would change the fate of the galaxy forever. Humanity, once warned against, had become a force that even the mighty Galactic Empire had not anticipated. The question now was, would it be enough to save them from annihilation? As the Imperial fleet hovered menacingly above Earth, humanity stood united like never before. The planet buzzed with a mixture of fear and determination. In this darkest hour, the human spirit shone brightest. In a secret underground bunker, world leaders gathered. President Rodriguez looked around the room, her eyes meeting those of her former rivals and enemies. "Today we fight not for our nations, but for our species," she declared. Meanwhile, Dr. Yuki Tanaka and her international team made a breakthrough. Using the Zephyrian chip's technology, they created a device to amplify Earth's unified consciousness. "It's ready," Yuki announced, her voice trembling with excitement and exhaustion. As they activated the device, a wave of energy pulsed across the globe. Every human felt it. A surge of connection, of shared purpose. This wave rippled out into space, far beyond Earth's atmosphere. On the Imperial flagship, alarms blared. Admiral Zox's energy form flickered erratically. "What's happening?" he demanded. Commander Vex studied the readings, his multiple eyes wide with disbelief. "Admiral, the humans, They're generating a field unlike anything we've ever seen. It's disrupting our systems. Suddenly, space itself seemed to shimmer. Out of swirling vortexes, ships began to appear. But these weren't Imperial reinforcements. These were ancient races, awakened by humanity's call. A massive, organic-looking ship approached the Imperial fleet. Its captain, a being of pure thought named Zen, communicated telepathically with both the humans and the Empire. "We have observed." Zen's thoughts echoed. "We have judged. Humanity is not to be feared, but to be welcomed. Their potential is limitless." Admiral Zox's form stabilized as he faced this new development. "But the Empire's decree is outdated," Zen interrupted. "The humans have proven themselves worthy of joining the galactic community. Stand down, Admiral." On Earth, cheers erupted as the news spread. The Imperial threat was neutralized, and humanity had gained powerful allies. But with this victory came a new responsibility. In Millbrook, Nebraska, Farmer John stood in his ruined cornfield, looking up at the stars with wonder. Special Agent Sarah Thompson approached him, Silo the Zephyrian by her side. "Everything's going to change now, isn't it?" John asked. Sarah nodded. "Yes, but we'll face it together. All of us." She glanced at Silo, who nodded in agreement. As the sun rose on a new era, world leaders gathered again, this time to plan Earth's future as part of the galactic community. President Rodriguez addressed them. "We faced our greatest challenge and emerged stronger. Now we must use this unity to build a better future, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy." In the days that followed, Earth became a hub of interstellar activity. Alien diplomats arrived, eager to meet the species that had defied the Empire. Human scientists worked alongside alien counterparts, sharing knowledge and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The Galactic Empire, humbled by the experience, began to reform. Admiral Zox, seeing the error of the Empire's ways, became an advocate for a more inclusive galactic community. Silo and his fellow Zephyrians, once prisoners, became honored guests. Their curiosity, which had started this whole chain of events, was now celebrated as a valuable trait. As Earth took its place among the stars, humanity faced new challenges and adventures. But they faced them with the knowledge that when united, there was nothing they couldn't overcome. In a classroom in New Tokyo, a young teacher pointed to a holographic map of the galaxy. "Class," she said with a smile, "today we'll learn about our galactic neighbors." The children, a mix of humans and young aliens, listened with rapt attention. Among them sat a little girl, her eyes wide with wonder. She raised her hand. "Teacher, can we visit these planets someday?" The teacher's smile widened. "Of course. The galaxy is open to us now. One day, you might even help establish peace on a distant world." As the lesson continued, outside the window, a Zephyrian ship zipped by, its crew waving to the excited children. Earth had not only survived, it had ushered in a new age of galactic cooperation and exploration. The warning to keep your distance from Earth had become an invitation. Welcome to Earth, gateway to the stars.